2 people are found dead at a cemetery in Chattanooga, and now police are investigating it as a double homicide. Good evening. I'm Kim Chapman.
And I'm Latricia Thomas. The discovery made this morning at Highland Memorial Gardens on Shepherd Road. It's right next to a rec center that's currently holding a kids' summer camp. We have team coverage tonight. Stephanie Sanastasi will show us how the rec center responded when police arrived. But we begin tonight with James Torres. James, what are police saying about this investigation?
Kim and Latricia, if you can take a look behind me here, you can see that some police officers, their squad cars are still blocking the entrance to this cemetery site. That's because they say the crime scene is still active, and this will have restricted access until that crime scene is completely clear.
A scene hard to see from where our camera stood, right on the corner of Shepherd Road and West Shepherd Road in Chattanooga, is where former Councilman Manny Rico says he found 2 bodies on the ground.
And I'm thinking, well, you know, they might be passed out, drunk, asleep. And I'm thinking, well, they kind of look kind of funny the way they's laying. So I sat there and watched them, seeing if I could maybe see them breathe. And then so I didn't, so I honked my horn a couple times real loud, and they didn't move.
Rico runs a monument business. Part of what they do, create headstones. He found the bodies while checking on a tombstone for a client. He says he then notified a nearby caretaker.
I said, are they asleep? He said, no, they're dead.
Officers say they called for help from federal agents and the CPD Academy to assist. That's because they are considering the entire grounds of the cemetery a crime scene.
The difficulty lies in the sheer expanse of the grounds. There's a lot of area to cover, many acres to cover, looking for evidence that can be small, so it's going to be very difficult. Rico says in his 47 years of business, he's never encountered a situation like today.
Usually they're underground. I don't see them laying on top of the ground like that.
And the police department tells us that they do have some minor updates for us regarding this investigation. They have yet to give us that information. As soon as we have that available, we will pass it along to you. For now, it's the latest we have here in Chattanooga. I'm James Torres, News Channel 9.
All right, James, thank you.
The site where those bodies were found, not far from a rec center where children are participating in a day camp. That is where we find News Channel 9's Stephanie Sanastasi tonight. Stephanie, how did they handle this incident?
Latricia, yeah, this summer camp at the Shepherd Rec Center here, it's pretty close to where this cemetery is. I would say just nearly 30 feet away. The staff members here, they told us just as those police cars came up, they brought the children that were outside inside. Now, to show you just how close this is, I'm going to walk here from the sidewalk that we're at to this ditch, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps until you hit this ditch that separates the rec center line from where the cemetery is. Now, throughout the day, crews have been spending their day in the cemetery kind of assessing the scene here. Another thing that I want to point out as we come over here, you'll see right now the sidewalk behind me, it's empty for the most part. There's no one there, but today this looked a lot different. 25 people, families from the area gathered along the sidewalk today waiting to hear any type of answers from Chattanooga police. At one point, there was a victim from another shooting 5 months ago, their family coming out here just to see what happened in this cemetery where their loved one is buried. It was a very busy and active day as Chattanooga police kind of had to watch the families here as they were waiting to hear this news throughout the day. A very heartbreaking situation, but it is happy to report that none of those kids that were inside this rec center were hurt today. They are all safe, and so is this community. For now, reporting live in Chattanooga, Stephanie Sanastasi, News Channel 9.
Stephanie, thank you. We also called the cemetery today to speak with the owner about any security they might have there and if they have surveillance cameras. No one returned our call.